the joys of YouTube and of these awesome shots. Every time you go down there, you gotta come back and get the camera. And you wanna be a YouTuber? Alright guys, so I don't know if you remember or not, but a couple of months back, I had a bad storm and a bunch of trees fell. Well, one's right there, but then I got a couple over here. So let's go check these out. I got a project that I think I can use them for. Sawyer. All right, so I got on top so I could look, but got all this tree, and then it even fell down there, so it's a lot. All right, so I'm on the lookout for some good branches. I don't need anything like this right here that's kind of rotted out, but I do need some thicker, good stuff, I guess, that's, I guess, more seasoned. It's a little more dried out. It's been cut down for a while. Well, fell down, I didn't cut it. And so I'm gonna try to find some branches that I can cut up and use for rounds. I want rounds. I'm gonna show you why here in a little bit, but I figured this would be a great place to come get it. I know it's already been drying for a little bit longer than most trees, and there's a lot to choose from. So we are kind of down the bottom of the hill. I don't know if you can see down there, but the dogs are kind of running down there where the creek is. If you guys have been around for a while, you know that's pretty far down there. But I'm gonna go ahead and try to find what I need down here and hopefully be able to get it back. Hopefully you guys could see me climbing up here, and I think this is the log I want, so I'm gonna try to cut somewhere in here, not staying right here, but I'm gonna cut somewhere in here and let it fall, and then try to round it up with it down here. That's the plan. We'll see how it goes. Normally things don't go according to plan. At this point, I don't know the safest way to even do this, but I do have my gloves. I have my chaps on, I don't know if you could see. And then I brought my safety glasses, if I can get them out of here. Because I am by myself out here, and I know a lot of times I don't do safety first, but when you're by yourself and you're down the bottom of a hill and there's literally no one around, you do what you gotta do to stay as safe as possible, even though they're already fogging up. So let's try this out. I may actually, man, I can't even see in these glasses. I may try to cut it a little bit further down. That way this will fall down and that will fall down, but I could stand on that tree down here. It's worth a shot. Jump in. Alright guys, I'm out of breath. Gotta take a break. Dogs are resting. This is hard work. Alright guys, so I finally took a little bit of break from doing what I was doing. That kicked my butt. But we'll show you in a little while why I did all that work. Jaylene is back. The trip, was it good? Not what you were hoping, but...
It wasn't what I was expecting, but yes, it was a good trip.
So, if you haven't checked out her video yet, it's Leave Her Wild. She has a trip that she just went on. It'll be a 2-part series.
Yes.
So, go check that out. But, as you can tell, we got a bunch of lumber. A ton. Like, over 300 tongue and groove planks. A whole bunch of insulation and stuff. A bunch of glue, spackle stuff. So it's a lot to do that we have here. I went to the Sawyers. Well, Jacob hit me up. I hit him up and I was like, I'm going to have to live with you guys because whatever. Just check this out. Alright guys, so you know that the lumber has been just almost non-existent. And if you find anything, it's super, super expensive. I've been going to Lowe's and all this stuff trying to find kind of some tongue and groove car siding, and I just couldn't find it anywhere. So I just was texting Jacob. I said, I'm about to spend the night at your place for like a month, and we're going to be on that sawmill. And Jacob was just like, I got you, getting your room ready. And he actually said, let me call around.
Yeah.
What'd you find?
I found exactly what Jason was wanting.
40-foot boards.
Amish country came through here.
Yep. So you know you have a good friend first off when he's wearing an America shirt.
Yeah.
And second, he literally was just like, because I told him, I said, man, I don't know, I'm gonna start just trying to figure something out. You know, I'll figure it out. And he's like, no, give me a minute. He's like, let me look. He's like, I'll call a few places. And he did, and they had it. And
they had quite a bit of it.
They had a lot, and very, very surprised. They had 16 footers, which is way too big for my truck, so we kind of stole the trailer from his parents. Unfortunately, his parents were there. His dad was there, so he got caught. But we ended up getting this, and the issue is they're 16-footers. Need to get them in my truck to get them out there. We considered taking the trailer out there to my place, but that's a good hour drive, and we had to drive like 45 miles an hour because it's so much weight. And
probably going up your hills would be
a
nightmare.
I didn't really want to risk it. So we're going to cut these suckers in half. I don't need exact. So we were kind of thinking, what we'll do is we'll get this saw, and while they're hooked together, we'll just rip them down the middle and make it real easy. So let's see if that theory works. It's like the chinking on the outside. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, have you gotten any further?
No. My hands, I swear to you, I got arthritis. Seems like every time I spend a lot of money, I end up having to destroy it. But yeah, so that's that. Finally got all the stuff we need, so I'm super excited. But now it's time to tackle this room in here. Kind of the plan basically is we're going to try to use the wood that I cut down here. You'll see a little bit later. And then on the walls up here, we'll use that car siding and stuff. There are some gaps. You can see some light and stuff. There are little gaps. It's not bad. And I'm going to end up using spray foam. I got some of that, so we'll spray foam that. We'll do everything. Enough talk. While I got Jaylene here, let's get to work. All right, guys. So I bought this can of great stuff. It's for big gap filler, and I'm gonna go ahead and spray up here because this is where the metal is meeting the back of the wood, and then you can see a little bit of light over here. I'm gonna try to fill that in. So I've never used this. I've used the other kind of smaller, so I'm real curious. I'm gonna start over here for this and see. There it goes. Well, that works awesome. Very impressed. So I'm gonna try right here where this light is and see if this light will go away. Of course, up here, the very tops, I'm not too worried right now. I may end up spraying up here, but I kind of want to use this as my air vent to let air go through. And I'm just going to put some like mesh stuff on the outside. I already have a plan for that, but you know, let's see how this goes. I think it works pretty good. Alright, so I got it all the way around up there. Again, there's still a little light at the very top because that's going to kind of act as like the airflow ridge thing instead of putting it up in here. I'll end up doing the ridge vents, whatever they're called, in the actual house part of it. But in here, that's what's going to be flowing up and then into the house part. So it's fine for this, but I got it all foamed up. So now let's start on the floors and then the walls. What? Drop it. got the flooring in, and next step is insulation on the wall. So we're gonna do that. I think it's gonna go up really quick. I got 6-inch pink with the paper on it. That way it'll work really good for what it is. So go ahead and put that up. All right, before I get ahead of myself, I forgot, I did buy wiring, and I'm gonna wire up an outlet, just one in this room, and I'm just gonna run it out. That way, whenever I have a generator, I can plug it in outside, or if I get my solar set up and all that, or if for whatever reason I ever sell this place and someone wants to buy it and put an electrical pole outside, they have electric. So I'm going to run a wire and just run it that way for now. Wherever it leads, it doesn't really matter right now because I'm just working on this room. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and yeah, luckily it's only one wire, so one small hole. Alright, so I got my little box here, and this is a little bit bigger one. This is called a new old wood box, and you basically stick it on flush here, and it gives it enough room out here. So when you put your wood on the outside, it's good, and then you can put your face plate on there. So I'm gonna figure out, I probably want it roughly that high. I'm gonna knock, actually, before I do that, just run the wire through the back so it's not a pain in the butt. And then, honestly, since I'm out here, I don't need people to come inspect and do certain things the right way. This looks good to me. It doesn't need to be super high off, so. And then I could always put a couple screws right here if I need to. But now I have my wiring, and I got it running through here and everything. It'll be fine. And then I will staple the wire going up and make it a little neater. But this gives me a little room. I definitely learned that you want a lot of room so you can cut, do what you need to do, and then have room to put it in rather than trying to do it all up close. I learned that the hard way in Jared's house, but I'm gonna end up wiring everything myself, and I just wanna leave me enough slack. All right guys, so I cleaned it all up. So again, I have it right here, and then it's running through the wall over here, and then on this side, on this side, you can tell it's all the way up, and then it runs over here, and then it goes up over the top into the main part of the house. The reason I did that is I'd have to go through 2 studs here, and then on the back, because the corner, I have multiple studs, so I didn't want to drill through like 5, 6 2x6s. So really and truly just went up and over. It's just as easy. So now that this is up, now we can do insulation and then put walls up.
That razor's right next to you.
What?
That razor.
I know some of you are gonna say, use gloves, whatever. So, I guess if you get that, we'll kind of measure there, down at the bottom. We're going to cut it here. A little bit smaller gap. So this is the part that goes up super easy, super quick. As you can tell, we already did a whole wall. Luckily, one roll of it did the whole wall. So that means the other roll, we'll do this wall, and then we'll open another one, do a little bit right here. And then I got one little bitty piece down here that I need to fill in that we can get from spare. Then we gotta do up there. But this goes up easy. The inside I've done before, so definitely more confident in the inside of the build. That's why I kept saying take my time outside and then speed up on the inside. So you can see we got the insulation. It doesn't look the best on top for sure, like it's hanging or whatever. I messed up. I forgot to buy 2 foot wide, and instead of driving an hour back to Lowe's and an hour back, we just used what we could. We put it this way, and wherever there was a brace, we kind of pulled the pink insulation out, stapled it up. Again, once we put these boards, we already cut them because I don't think you need to watch us cut 300 boards. So we already cut them to length. We're gonna put them up. It's tongue and groove, knotty pine, and like I said earlier in the video, I didn't think I was gonna get it. So I'm very glad that I got it. So let's put it up. Got a ceiling. So that goes up really quick. This is why I love tongue and groove. I love the pine. It gives it that cool cabin feel. So now what we did was we kind of went past here. Instead of doing exact cuts, I hate doing that, just make it a little bit taller. It goes past, and then when you do your wall up, it's going to hold the ceiling in. We've done that before. It works great. And then
you just trim it.
Yeah,
you won't even know.
Yeah, you trim it up. You won't even know. I have a cool idea for trim, and I think it'll be fine. And what I did was, before we kind of put these blocks in here just to have something to nail to, and then of course at the very end we did that on both sides. So when it comes up, of course it's going to be locked in up here with the tongue and groove, and then we'll lock it in, and then we put trim, it'll lock it in even more. So this is one of the easier things, I guess, on this house.
That's for sure.
Yeah, so now we're going to start on the wall, and what we're going to do is we're going to go down to a certain spot. I don't know the exact height yet, because I'll do it depending on the tongue and groove, so we don't have to cut and trim or anything. So we'll do that, and then the bottom down, we'll show you what we're going to do with those logs. Get it?
I feel like it's stuck on something.
Huh?
For the most part.
That's way off. How'd that happen? They both the same?
Should be.
I don't know if it's a little better on this side. Do a donkey. Alright guys, so now we got the wood all the way around. As you can see, we got plywood on the bottom and the tongue and groove car setting on top and the ceiling. So what we're gonna do is just clear coat everything and leave this as is because it looks freaking awesome. No?
I mean, I'm no interior designer, but I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
So I hate OSB plywood with a passion. When we were at the ranch, we painted it, we stained it. It looks like crap any way you do it. I don't care who you are. I think it personally looks like crap. I know some of you guys have done it. I ain't trying to bash you. I just cannot. I personally do not like it. So most people don't like this either. So, you know, personal preference. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do logs on the bottom. I cut a whole bunch of logs like you saw at the beginning of the video. And I'm going to hook all those on, and it's going to look like cordwood on the bottom. And then I'm going to put chinking in between, and I'll show you how I do that. But I'm going to do that all the way across, and then right here where it is bordered, I am going to do log siding. Basically, I'm going to go ahead and find some logs. I'm going to rip them, and I'm going to put them across. And then even in the corners, I want logs, and then up here at the top, all the way around the whole thing, logs. And then what I'm going to do first is I'm going to trim out this whole window and everything, get the window finished, because I need all that to be finished, and then I want the same trim around the window all the way. So I'll do that, and then get my logs, put them on, and the very last thing I might do is trim it with the logs. Maybe I might end up putting the logs first, the trim, and then the cordwood. So you ready to go get all those logs I cut?
Sure.
Fun. Alright, so now as you can see, I got all these logs cut. So I went down there and I cut all these log pieces. I got different types, different sizes, and before I tell you everything I'm doing, all this is going to go on the wall. It's going to look like cordwood slash kind of like stacking firewood on there, but it'll have mortar in between. Sounds like the goats are trying to come in. They're trying to. So yes, I am going to leave the bark on there. I think it looks awesome. I know normally when you do it outside, it needs to be debarked. Sprite. But since it's going to be inside, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to leave the bark on there, and even pieces like this, where part of it's broken off, I don't care. I want it to look super natural. So I'm going to go ahead and start nailing this on, hopefully. And if it works out, then I'll show you guys how I'm going to mortar it. But this takes forever cutting all these logs. So labor of love. I almost opted out of doing this because it's so much work. But I thought that was the goats coming in, and that's Jalen working out there. But hey, if you want it done, do it, and just do it right, and do the way you want it in the first place. So I think it's going to make this room look super cool. Let's do it. I guess first, technically, I should probably put a trim on the bottom. Let's do that. Okay, so I know I'm going to put a trim on the bottom. I still got to put the flooring and trim it off. So I got this. It's just a cutoff. I'm going to put it down. That way I know how high to go off the floor. That way it'll kind of help me out. So I'm going to go ahead and try putting this on. I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap here because if I do that, I want to make sure I could do a whole nother strip on the other side. So it's on there pretty good. And we're using all different pieces here. Technically, I could probably shoot it right through the middle, and that'd work fine on some of these. Some of them are a little too thick, but I think that'll work. Just try to keep it super random. Don't overthink it. And basically just try to keep some of these big ones kind of apart. You want it to look like you just stacked a bunch of logs pretty much. So a lot of people always kind of ask, so when I hold stuff, I hold this finger up like that all the time. Or if I'm hammering, I always hold it like way up. I smashed it like 3 times to where the fingernail came completely off and I broke my finger. That's why I got some weird looking fingers. But yeah, that's kind of why I do that. Fun fact. Okay, so I haven't finished the whole wall yet, but I bought these grout bags. I got one for the outside to do my mortar. I'm not going to be using plastic bags anymore. That was a nightmare. But I also bought drywall all-purpose spackle. No, that's not real grout. This whole thing is to show you guys that you can hopefully do something cool on a budget. So a bucket like this is about $50 if you bought the real chinking stuff. This is $5, so way cheaper. I'm gonna use this, squeeze it in, hopefully it'll be fine. Use a brush if I need to in there, and then I'll clear coat everything at the same time. And then if I don't like the color of the spackle, you can paint it. It'll be a little bit of a pain in the butt, but you can paint it, be easy. So let's see if this works, or if Jason wasted a bunch of money again. Probably. Seems to be the story of my life. I tried to do something good, and then should have just done it the real way the first time. But let me experiment, and you guys can learn from my mistakes. Let's see if this will work. Already got all over my hand, not a big problem. So let's see. Probably should have put more in here, but it'll do. Never used one of these before. It's a lot tougher than a Ziploc bag. So instead of starting over there like a genius, I'm gonna start right here. Alright. I'm gonna go real slow. And the beauty of this, and this is why I'm using spackle, because it really don't matter, it doesn't have to be very thick. And I don't want to use my chinking because it's super pricey. And with it being thin, I'm not too worried about it costing a lot or cracking or anything. This whole project is a huge labor of love. But this is what I do when I don't want to really hang around with Jaylena anymore. She just goes to the van, and I do this, and then when I'm done and she's like, "What are you doing?" I just act like I'm still working on it. I'm like, "Yeah, this takes forever." Right, Jaylena?
Mm-hmm. Are you not going to do it like the thickness of the wood?
Probably not, because I'd use a lot.
Oh, I was just curious. Answering some questions that will probably get asked.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to...
Learn how to frost a cake?
Pretty much. I'd like to fill it up all the way to the outside, but I think that'll really depend on how much it uses. Alright, good enough of that. Now, let's go back with the brush and try to make it look a little better. I don't know if I'll be able to, really. This may just end up looking like poo-poo. This is gonna be fun. Probably should have left bigger gaps. So as you can see, I got all the way through. I started smoothing it out right here. I don't know if it got it or not. My memory card got full. I didn't know, so no clue where that quit filming. But as you can tell, I did use this all-purpose sheetrock plaster, and I just squeezed it in, and I was, of course, doing it smooth, but it's too hard to get in there. So what I'm going to do is, what I didn't want to do, fill it in all the way to the end of the wood. It'll look way better than what I originally wanted to do, but it's going to use twice as much of this spackle stuff. But it's okay, because again, this costs $5. And there's probably about this much left. So I'm going to end up having to use 2 of these per wall. But I'm going to buy the big 5-gallon bucket for $15. So I think technically you get a free bucket, I think. I'm not very good with the quarts to gallons to whatever. So I'm going to let this dry. I didn't want to do it too thick because then it wouldn't dry. So I kind of just squeezed it in there, and I left it real textury in there. So when I do it again, it has something to grab to really good rather than it being super smooth. So I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to come back and check it probably in the morning, maybe later today, depends on when it's going to dry, and then hit it up again and then smooth it out. So hopefully in this video you can see at least this half finished and you'll have a good idea. It is a labor of love, and oh my gosh, I totally regret doing it until hopefully at the very end when it looks really good. So hopefully, fingers crossed, when it's done, it looks good. Alright guys, so it's the next morning, same clothes, next morning, but this, it didn't dry all the way. It's still a little soft in some spots. So I wanted to finish it today. I'm not going to be able to, unfortunately, but that's alright. It's just a labor of love. It's going to take a while. It doesn't look the best right now because it's literally just like spots here and there that I stuck it in, but it kind of gives you an idea, and I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's going to look really cool when it's finished. You guys have to stick around. So hopefully in the next video, this will be completely done. I need to get trim pieces. I tried to cut some myself on the table saw. Ain't gonna happen. So I'm gonna have to go to the Sawyers and get on the sawmill, and might do it at a cedar, I don't know, but I need to get trim. I'm gonna put trim going up here, up there, all the way around. I need to cut some, trim the windows out and stuff. So next time you see this video, hopefully this whole room will be finished. That'd be great. This is going to be my office. This is where I'm going to build a custom desk right here for my computer and stuff. I did work around this so I can have electrical put in here. That way I can hook it up to the generator or solar or future-proof it. And if later on down the road someone wants to buy the property, the house is already wired. I don't plan on ever running an electrical line down here or anything like that. But I'm pretty excited about it. What do you think so far?
I definitely think that once you put your second layer on here and it's kind of, you know, thicker, it'll look really good. Right now, it just looks like a giant cake.
Yeah, it looks like a huge mess right now. And but we did kind of smooth this part out a little bit because you can get in there better, and it looks good. But yeah, it's going to come out all the way flush with the logs, so it'll look really cool. It'll look like cordwood. Hopefully it'll look decent.
I think if we get like small paintbrushes to kind of do like the real tight areas, that'll help a lot too. Yeah, so we're gonna let this dry. I'm gonna hit it back later. It actually rained yesterday, so a lot of the logs that I had got wet. I don't want to put them up wet, stuff like that. So I just figured, you know what, let's do it right. Let's not rush it. Let's get it done correctly. So I just wanted to give a big shout out before jumping off this to dogooders.com. It's dogoodergear.com. This is actually my buddy Claire Hawkins. I went to school with him, and I haven't seen him in years and years and years, but he kind of made this video. It went a little viral on TikTok, I think. Him and his kids and wife went around putting flowers in people's back pockets and purses and whatnot without them knowing. They turn around, and it just makes them have a better day. And you know, we talk about that all the time on Coffee Crockers. So I purchased a shirt because I want to support them. So if you want to go check them out, it's literally dogoodergear.com. I'll try to put a link down in the description, and they have a couple of shirts out there. And then I think they have maybe a Facebook page or something like that. If you go check out the Facebook page, please tell them Crocker sent you over. And I think that's a cool thing, something to give back to some friends of mine, and they have a really good message, so super good people. But now to end the video, I have a new system to hopefully get better service out here, so let's go test it out. Alright guys, so most of you know, I live off grid, and this is my office for now. That's why I'm trying to finish the room inside, but I edit all my stuff, and then I need to upload my videos and all that stuff. It's a huge pain in the butt. So a product called
HiBoost sent me an email and wanted me to do a review on their signal booster, and it's kind of like HiBoost. I already have HiBoost, and it works good out here, but it's one of those things where you have to have the antenna way up in the tree to get it to work. So I'm going to test it out here. Honestly, I'm not going to expect it to work very well out here just because literally in the middle of nowhere, there's too many trees, stuff like that. If it doesn't work good, then I'm going to go down by the river and test it out there and see if it works better. But you have to download an app, you put it on here, it tells you all the stuff, and as of right now, it's showing that it's not picking up too well. I don't blame the product itself, because literally in the middle of nowhere, the HiBoost barely works with the antenna way up in the tree. So I'm gonna try to see if it'll work better. I'll show you this stuff up close and yeah, show you more of the product. Okay, so you have this app here, and it has stuff up there, but it shows my location. Ain't trying to show you that. But as you can see right here, it's very poor, and poor. We are in a very bad spot. We are in the middle of nowhere, really a bunch of covering and stuff. But that's the app that you have. I'll show you later that it works better. But as of right now, it's boosting nothing. It could do 38 decibels. Whoever that is calling me, leave me alone. Decline. Anyways, 38 decibels it can gain, 38 it can gain, 50 it can gain, 15 gain. As of right now, it's like in the negatives because we're in the middle of nowhere. But this is the little router. So basically my HiBoost router is probably about that big, a lot bigger than this. You can actually, here's the little antenna that you put in your vehicle. I have it plugged in through my USB right now. The truck's a mess. This is what I work out of, it's what I live out of, and that's the whole point of this product. It is meant for mobile stuff. So you can use it for an RV, truck, car, whatever. This is actually an RV setup, and you could plug it in normal power, or they give you another USB or an actual cigarette lighter, and then this one is USB. I could plug it into my Jackery if I need to, but everything's powered up good, it's working good. Unfortunately, it's just not picking up good service. I have my antenna kind of down in the back of my truck right now. So let's go out there, let's lift it up, and let's see if it'll do any better. So here's the antenna. It gives you a bracket that you can mount it onto your RV or anything. The reason I got this was for the van. Jaylene is in the middle of building some stuff in her van. That's why we're not hooking it up just yet. Plus I want to move it around and do all that stuff. So basically you're going to want it up on a pole a little bit higher, and you're going to want to see your app and see if it's doing any better. And actually it did a little bit. So I'm going to hold it down, and as you can see right here, it's going to start, it boosted a little bit just me moving it. So I'm going to go ahead and see how it went down because I moved this down. So I'm going to move it up and try to get better service and see.
It's moving.
Okay, so now you can see that it did get better. As you can see up here, I am just holding it up in the air. This is the clearest spot that we have out here. But again, I didn't want to just hook it on a vehicle and be like, oh, good to go. So if you had an RV or a van, it would be roughly this tall, and then you could have it up on a pole a little bit. But as you can tell in the app, it does show that it went up some. So it is clearly boosting. Of course it went down, I just dropped it right there, but you could tell when you move the antenna, it kind of went away. So again, I don't blame this on the product out here. We are literally in the middle of the woods, way out in the country. So unfortunately, it doesn't work the best out here. But then again, I have a HiBoost system that is literally up in the tree, cost twice as much as this one, and it barely works. So I don't blame it on this at all. Again, this is just an RV one. This is not a home one. The one that I have for HiBoost is literally one that's supposed to broadcast 1,500 feet or 1,500 square feet and all this, you know, craziness. So for mobile, that's not bad. If I were to actually hook that onto the vehicle, that would boost my cell signal. And as you could tell up here, I almost, just the way it is, I almost have full bars 4G. I don't know if you could see that very well, but almost full bars 4G when normally that is not the case. So pretty impressive without this even really boosting too much. So kind of surprised with that, to be completely honest. I didn't expect a whole lot. So let's go down to the river. It'll be a little more open, not so much in the trees and stuff, and we'll test it out and see if it works any better there. All right, guys, so just to show you again before I show you if it works or not, here's the antenna. It's very simple. This stays in your car. Boom. You could use sticky tape, whatever you want to do to mount that in your car. Then you have your router. It's very simple. You literally screw it in here. It's pretty simple. It says indoor right here. You plug that one in for indoor. Then your wire that goes outside is outdoor. You plug it in there, good to go. For this in my car, literally plug this in to right there. It says DC 12 volt. Boom, easy. It gives you a little adapter. You can plug in a USB. Boom, you can plug that in to your laptop, anything USB that you need to, jackery, whatever. And then that will literally power it up. It's good to go. And then you also have multiple other ways to power it. It's very simple. And then at the very end of this white cable, you have the antenna. It literally just screws on. It's very, very simple. With this, just simple as can be. Screw it on, and then they give you a mounting bracket that you hook to this, and you can hook to a pole on the outside. Right now, of course, I'm just holding it. So then you want to get on your phone and download Signal Supervisor, and then you'll go through that. Mine needs an update. I'm not going to update it right this second. I'm not going to show you this because it shows my location, but then you just click on it, and then you're going to scroll down, and that's where it's going to show you all this. This is not plugged in. There's no HiBoost or there's no HiBoost plugged into it. So literally, it's at the bottom of all these, and but it'll show you all the different things that it'll boost. So let's go ahead and test this sucker out. All right, guys. So we didn't get quite to the river. We got this cool open spot. So I'm gonna kind of hold it up, and I am looking at this, and it's way better. It's full bars, full G. 4G, and it says that it's now acceptable, which is pretty awesome out here. So check this out. So, all right, guys, so clearly I don't have this mounted on properly up here. It does come with mounts and everything. Not worried about it in the moment because we're gonna try to hook it up to the van. That's why we got the RV style. And again, they have different types where it's for the house, RV, stuff like that. I just want to let you guys know this is not a paid thing. It's not, you know, it's just a review. They hit me up. They're like, hey, would you like to do a review? And I actually said, I already have HiBoost. I don't really need it. And then they said, well, what about an RV one or one on the go? And I said, that's perfect. So I'm very thankful that I have this. So anything that I say in this is not paid. I've actually been hit up by multiple products lately. Simply Safe for the security on your home and all that stuff. They're willing to pay me $3,000 to literally pretty much put a video out and say what they want me to say. I said, no, I'm not doing it. I think it's a great product, I'm sure, but you're not gonna pay me to say what you want me to say. Not doing it. Other channels do that. I'm not into that. So this is just all my honest opinion, and just literally holding it right here, it shows that it's acceptable. And as far as the standards on here saying acceptable, it's literally almost full bars 4G. So pretty cool little thing. And again, we're in the middle of nowhere. We're out in the country, stuff like that.
which kind of, if you're in an RV, it's probably what you want. If you had this more in the city, then it's probably going to be like the best it could possibly be, of course, because you're closer to towers and stuff. But this was literally where I almost have absolutely no service out here at all. Plug this in, and literally just right here where it's at, it's showing pretty decent power gains and stuff. Like, it's got all the way back up to where it needs to be. And so very, very thankful for this product. It's HiBoost. They actually have a sale going on right now. I'll put the link down in the description if you want to check it out. It's from now till I think next month, around the 26th, 28th, something like that. I'll put the information down in the description. You can check it out. But if you guys are interested in this, this is actually cheaper than HiBoost, and I'm a big believer in HiBoost and now HiBoost. I'll say at first I wasn't that interested in it, to be completely honest. I tried it up there, it didn't work the best, but I can't fault this for my location. It took literally a HiBoost system that is twice as expensive to pick up a little bit of service. So can't knock them for it. Being out here, it clearly works. It's showing that it works, so pretty excited. So again, if you want to check it out, please do. You can go check out the website and all that stuff. But this will be it for the review and the video. So guys, thanks so much for watching. If you're interested in one of these, I will be doing a lot more reviews on this as time goes on. We'll hook this on Jaylina's van. We'll do a more in-depth review on it on the van, and then when she travels, she'll be able to show you guys on her channel as well. Again, this is not paid or anything. We just want to use it because it's a cool feature when you're a YouTuber and Jaylina's want to get stuck somewhere and not have cell phone service. So this is not Wi-Fi, this is just cell phone signal. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Appreciate you guys. If you haven't subscribed, hit the notification bell. Please do. I'm almost at 100,000 subscribers. Crazy. So hopefully by my next video, 100,000 subscribers would be cool. If not, oh well, not a big deal. See ya on the next one.